like, what do you need? Fresh tip when you're doing your feet. New LV when you fly overseas. Call plumbing cause I'm at him. Been swimming cause I'm in a deep. Don't call me, you already know. I'm on the road and you for the same. I guess we're on different things. I guess now we're distant strangers. You said it's no fun.
So much NFL history has come from within the walls of Soldier Field here in Chicago. And we're happy to return to it once again in its final chapters as an NFL stadium. Straight ahead is what should be a very entertaining matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Ball is teed up as rain continues to fall. And here we go from Chicago. That's going to be taken in at the 8. Things going well so far. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40.
Special teams always play an important role in ball games, and it does right here from the jump. That's going to give the offense terrific field position for this opening drive.
They'll go play action here. It's McCarthy. He's got it over the middle. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
You see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
Kate, I think that's a little taster, a little entree of what's to come for this wide receiver. He's going to have to make some plays into some contested coverages, and he couldn't do it right there.
Nice pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. 3rd and long for him here. Has him on the quick hitter. And the hit is made, so they bent to the competition, but they didn't break Gronk as they force this 4th down.
A gain of 7 yards. It's now 4th down and 1.
Now movement as somebody goes early, and for the first time today, we're going to hear from our officials. There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. Penalty hurts them, but they are still going for it here on 4th down. McCarthy to throw for it. Throw caught by his running back. Escapes the defender. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. They stun this defense. They pick up 14 on 4th, and they pick up a first down, too. They've come out swinging to begin this contest as they've got it down to the 31. First carry here for the rookie out of Kentucky. And he manages to find a little traction on that search field as he fights forward for a couple. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Off play action. It's McCarthy. On target to Musgrave. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. That's a pickup of 9. And the Vikings are going to have a first down.
First down. A gain of 9 yards.
From the red zone now.
Vikings first down.
He finds Sampson out of the backfield. And all he can do is get back to the line on that effort, so no gain on first down.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down as close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
And he's able to get this down to the 13. Defenses are fine with surrendering that completion if it means making a stop short like they did and bringing a 4th down.
Yeah, I like when these defensive coordinators say they want to populate the ball. And that was a perfect example of it. Don't let the playmaker get started.
throw here for McCarthy. Oh, it's the screen. Pass complete. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings finish up an excellent opening series. Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Vikings will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Set to kick this away. Luther Burden now on return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. Bears making their way up to the line. Here comes 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. Room up the sideline, now at the 40. And he gets it forward all the way to the 44. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know it can set the table for more.
What a jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. First down, Williams to throw. Short pass brought in. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that raw in the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Has his man caught by Odunze. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains. New set of downs for him from the 31.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They're going to run here. Kyle Monangai. He's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on 1st down. That's a nice quick correction for this front, Brock. Give up the big play and then get a little back on the very next one.
Exactly the kind of response you want to see from your defense. You got to forget about the big play for now and stay focused on that next snap.
Williams from the gun. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket. Genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Vikings will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Already in an early hole on the scoreboard. That is not what they needed in response, Brock. Giving away possession with a pick.
You know, we got a lot of game left, obviously. Nowhere close to them putting it away. But you can see things starting to unravel a little bit, even after just 2 possessions. A touchdown here could really continue that momentum towards an early runaway.
Still 10 to go. 2nd down now from the 23. On 3rd down, they'll go with Sampson. And he's brought down after a nice run and some extra effort. Offense up to the line fast. We'll give to Sampson here up the middle. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving. New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Here's McCarthy on 1st and 10. Complete downfield to Felton. He gets loose down the right side. It's a Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive.
Will Reichert is lining up for the extra point.
Reichert there to tack on the extra point. And the Vikings drive out to an early 14-0 lead.
14. Bears nothing.
Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Burden now to return it. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And a huge effort sets up his offense in a great spot on the opposite side of the field.
I remember these feelings running on the field after a great return like that, Kate. It almost feels like stepping into a batter's box with runners on base. So much of the work has been done ahead of you. Now you got to go deliver.
Connects on the crosser. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. These two NFC North teams have played one so far. Our score, 14-0. Back to Soldier Field in just a moment.
22-yard line.
We're back and all set for the second quarter. Bears football. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Thrown back, it's the handoff. Next snap coming inside the red zone. Brock, he picks up 9 on the play.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Looking for a pass on 2nd and short. Buys time, rolling right. Into the end zone, but not brought in. It falls incomplete. And will bring up 3rd down.
Well, he went for it all right there. That was a highlight reel waiting to happen if he could connect. So good to get out of the pocket, keep the play alive, but even better defensively to force the incompletion.
Here's the give on 3rd and short. So the run goes backwards. What do you think, Brock? Is it time that they start getting a little more aggressive, take some more risks offensively?
Not in my book. You've not earned that right. I think a lot of play callers feel that same way, too. I mean, you get to earn the right to be aggressive and take shots when you could do the basics, like, I don't know, run for a positive gain. You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
McLaughlin has it on the team, and he's ready to send this flying. Fielded just shy of the end zone. Good work so far. He's got room. And he showed some nice bursts on that run back, didn't he? Getting them all the way out to their own 40.
When you get contributions like that out of your kickoff returner, it is such a boost to an offense. This is about showing no fear. Hitting the lane hard, a determined run back, and setting your offense up with great field position.
And he manages to find a little traction on that soaked field as he fights forward for a couple. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 43-yard line.
Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're into the drop-in. Pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
As much as we talk about offenses wanting to stay ahead of the chains, they want to stay on script. Well, the defense, they want to rip that script up. And a sack like that, creating 3rd and extra longs, it's exactly how you get it done.
On 3rd and long, it's McCarthy. He throws a bullet deep to the right side. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tough one to retain through that hit. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long. And he drives this into the pouring rain. He's got this at the 27. And he's brought down before the return gets far.
First down and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
So they'll head up here, 1st and 10 from the 34. Going back in the backfield, and they give it to him. This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
And this one breaks beautifully as they're going to get it forward to their own 45. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Some of these quarterbacks, Kate, I swear, it's just instinctive. Like a great running back, they just know how to buy a little bit more time and to create space to Find those completions outside the pocket.
And finds Kmet downfield. Touchdown, Chicago! The Bears make it a one-score game in the first half. On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. Extra point sent in through the lane. And the Bears cut the lead down to 4. We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. He's going to field this at the 2. And he's brought down just inside the 25.
Take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Minnesota into formation. It's first and 10. Running right with Sampson. Crashes through a tackle. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop him. That play good for 17 on a first down. Big shot to begin the drive has him up beyond the 40.
First and 10 at the 41.
First down, and they go right back to it. And he'll stay upright through this lane, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Only 2 yards, and it brings up second and 8.
Hey, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Finds him over the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. There he is on 3rd and short. Running left side by Jefferson. And he'll get them enough for a first down. Double coverage deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know what's interesting, Kate? Even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done with that.
He steps in and makes the interception. Benjamin St. Juste picks it off. And the Bears will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
Intercepted. The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
At 2:01, he's going to take us inside the 2-minute warning. Williams to throw on first. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20. On play action, Williams. Throw left side is hauled in by Loveland. And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options, well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Out of the gun, here's Williams. Dump off caught by his back. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Completed over the middle. Ooh, and he is cracked at the tail end of that play. Good hit, but Sherman will love for it to have come earlier as he gets forward a bunch and gets him the first down.
Bears, first down.
Sticking in the air, it's Williams. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, well, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Williams off the play fake. Escapes the pocket. A little better luck with the last play, Brock, as he just has to get rid of it.
Kate, I got to believe he harkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
3rd down, here's Williams. That one's nabbed by Kmet. And he's got this one down to the enemy 35 before they force him out. They get 23 on that one. And that'll be first down, Chicago.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
There's a dive up the middle. And he'll stay upright through this range, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun, Williams. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they drop him right after that catch. He's down at the 22-yard line. The Bears decide to call their first timeout. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. Now Williams. That one is incomplete. The clock now down to 16 seconds remaining. No luck finding his receiver that time. So that brings up 2nd down.
What is up? What?
Now here's Williams. Has him on the quick hitter. He's taken out as he brings it down towards the 10. They gain 11 on that play. And it'll be first down, Bears.
First down. First and 10 at the 11.
Here's Williams again. And he has the catch. Gets both feet in. That's a touchdown. The Bears take the lead just before halftime. Coughlin's extra point is up and good. So the Bears push their lead to 3. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Returnable from the 2. And this drive will start inside the 25. This is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play. And with the clock just about to strike 0, we get a timeout. 1 second to go in our half. Here comes the final play of our first half. They'll stick with the ground game here. He's hit just before he can pick up that first, so 3rd and short coming up from the 33. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Burden now to return it. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. Chicago bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. Here's the one back on the handoff. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. Open ahead in the right direction and save this drive early. Here's 2nd and 13. Back-to-back carries here. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Kaiir Elam getting there for the stop. Digging deep in the playbook here, and this is 3rd and 11. 3rd and long for him here. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
This defense, they had a plan. And they've done an excellent job executing it. Instead of a main character, they've reduced this receiver to a footnote. Kudos to the job collectively on defense.
Picked up at the 38. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory.
At the 44-yard line.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. On the ground here with Simpson. Good little whip there. Looks like about 6. Benjamin St. Just getting up to end that play.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you.
He goes down. The Bears got him. And they come through the sack to bring around third down.
Well, even the toughest in the league to catch can still be caught at times. It just takes a defense that's determined and relentless. And the real big key, when you get that split second, and you got to take advantage of that opportunity, defense just did.
Third down from the gun. McCarthy. Another drop. The last two plays both should have been intercepted, but neither could be brought in. However brought in, they do at least force this fourth down.
Wishnowsky in punt formation.
And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. Bears making their way up to the line. Here comes 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Williams. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
And this is what the modern safety is all about in today's game. More and more, we see guys with an interception and a sack in the same game who can line up seemingly in 10 different positions on the field. Almost a positionless defender, yet their impact can be so great.
What is going on?
From his end zone, Williams. Complete right side. Burton has it. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, even a drop would have been better than that, Franklin. Couldn't find a way back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a rare pass that actually loses yardage.
Defense with an excellent opportunity at a stop here on 3rd down. From his end zone, 3rd and long. Hits him on the out route. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
He takes it in at the 48. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down.
At the 39-yard line.
So fresh set of downs now from the 39. 1st and 10. It's McCarthy. He's going to get a hand in there and knock that one away. So 2nd down now after the incompletion.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. Quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
2nd down. McCarthy to pass. Short pass brought in. And he takes it inside the 35 before heading out.
There's no negatives ever on the grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
That one's caught by Jefferson. And they drop him with a big hit, but that's going to sting worse for the defense. A big gain, and the chain's moving too. And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again now, McCarthy. Goes right back to Jefferson, complete. And that's a Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings take a 3rd quarter lead. It's a Justin Jefferson touchdown. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3 to 4 point play. Right? When you don't have to settle for field goals, you can throw it underneath, and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
3rd now to return it. Pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Williams from the gun. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Kaiir Elam makes the play. He's going to bring this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Minnesota touchdown. Reichert on for the point after. Got a good play in the rain there. The extra point flies through. And the Vikings drive their lead to 11. A quick chance at redemption after that pick six as it's sent away.
For the Vikings.
Burden now to return it. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30.
At their own
After that return, he's looking pretty banged up out there. We're going to have a stoppage as team personnel comes out to look at him.
What is it on?
They go with Monangai here. This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. With each carry he gets, Brock, I'm starting to wonder, is this going to be the last touch that he gets in this game? Because it hasn't been a great performance for him.
No, individually, collectively, and you can look up front, right? They've just not been winning the battle enough push, enough drive to get this running game going.
And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
What is it?
Williams will look to throw. And that one's incomplete. For now, he brings up 4th. Let's see what this penalty flag is all about. Just a momentary loss of focus, a break in discipline, and not a good moment individually as he gets hit with that personal foul. On play action, here's Williams. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. So it's 2nd and 10 now. Ball still at that 39-yard line.
What is it? There he gets back.
Working now from the gun. Looking underneath, and the back brings it in. And he is down to the 30-yard line. That one goes for 31 yards. And that'll be 1st down, Chicago.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
Dumps it off to his running back. And they're going to be humbled here on 1st down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was 1st down.
It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. After the 2nd straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way, and that's going to bring up a tough 3rd down.
That was a situation where I think the previous drive, really affected the decision-making there. Coming off a pick, he wasn't about to challenge the coverage. Instead, he just took his medicine.
And they get to him way behind the line on this one and take him down. And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up 4th down. And that boot will instead be what starts our 4th quarter. We've reached the end of the 3rd. The Bears have the ball, and they're going to need to score. They come in trailing. Chicago brings out the punting unit. Torrey Taylor will kick this away. Secures this at the 17. And a nice return out of him. They have it a little further up past their own 30.
1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
New set of downs for him from the 31. It's Sampson running out of the gun. Has a lane past the 45. He's finally hauled down at the 43. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26. One play in, Brock, and this drive is already in enemy territory.
A gain of 26 yards.
Going to the ground again on 4th. Nothing doing on the outside there. No gain on the run. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against them. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
And he's going to be right up against that line that they needed. Make it 3rd and maybe a yard at most from the 34. Offense headed to the line. Just need to punch it 40 yards to reset the downs. Trying to get it with the option.
It's results like that that drive coordinators nuts. Premature balding, gray, wrinkles, all of it, Kate. You call something conservative. The last thing you're thinking is you're going to lose yards on the 3rd and 1 run.
The lead looks safe, but the Penals staying down. They're going for this. Snap it to McCarthy. He's got it. That's going to be a first and more. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings have likely locked up the win right there. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he could rumble the whole way home.
Okay, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
That's up and through for the point after. And the Vikings push their lead to 18. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Fielded at the 7. Things going well so far. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
Some nice field position here. Bears getting set, 1st and 10.
Ready, set.
They'll give it to him inside. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain.
1 yard.
Last run, not a lot of help, Brock. 9 to go now on 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Williams. Connects downfield, on target to Burton. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And it'll be 1st down Bears.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
To throw is Williams. The pass is incomplete, but hold on here. We've got a flag on the field. Here's the call. So a big self-inflicted error as that personal foul moves the ball forward quite a bit. Penalty yardage marked off. Here's 1st and 10. Williams to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and you couldn't do it.
And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that'll be 1st down Chicago.
Ready, set.
And this one's going a long way. Nice win for that defense as they send it backwards.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards. There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Ready, set, hold on.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He's looking for Luther Burden. And that brings up 4th and long.
I'll say, Kate, that defense looked even better, sharper on 3rd down than they did on 2nd. They played that one so tight there was no window to throw.
Now can't blame him looking at that scoreboard, right? Might as well go for this on 4th down. Desperation time here. And he had it for a second, but unable to hang on. And the possession literally slips through their fingers as they turn it over on downs.
It's a turnover.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
And off to Sampson. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
That is just a great drive starter. What every offense wants. Gives you a little bit of energy, a little juice, and now a really manageable 2nd down.
2nd down carry for Sampson. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 32.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Hand off here to Sampson. He's stuck with him, but this one heads the wrong way. He winds up losing yards.
give some credit to the defense on that one. We don't see him get fooled into making the wrong read very often in the RPO. That's why the RPO, in fact, is part of their game to begin with. He normally makes the right call. He didn't do it there.
It's the 2-minute warning from Chicago. Vikings looking at a 3-0 start to the season.
Ready.
All right, here we go. Second down. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. Looks like he gained about 3 yards. That's also going to bring up third down. Still 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. They'll throw, third and long. Gets everything he has under this one. Brought in inside the 20. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that means a fresh set of downs for Minnesota.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
On first down, they'll run. And second down's going to be a good bit tougher. He can't even get back to the line. This play loses yards. Just couldn't get outside quick enough to take that D-line out of the picture. And one of those guys impressively got on the edge and caught him.
You know what's scary in this game today, Kate? When you watch the combine and you watch these 280-pound DNs that run like 4.6. I'm really thankful I don't play quarterback in today's game.
And he's going to be chased down about a step before that goal line. Well, Brock, wouldn't have affected the outcome, but what an effort defensively all